So today I want to address a misconception about a particular suffix. And that misconception is that T-I-O-N is a suffix. T-I-O-N is not a suffix. Let's think about this for just a moment. T-I-O-N is a syllable. I'm going to mark that off. And syllables are about sounds. The suffix, when we see this ending, is actually ION. And ION is indeed a suffix. It is a morpheme. And morphemes, or in this case suffixes in particular, are about meaning, structure, and the function of the word. There is a difference. So let's test this out so that you can really understand what I mean. I want to use the word act, this free base. And I want you to think about the word action. If we were to do a word sum for action, we would have the word act plus ION. That's the first thing I want you to see. The base has stayed the same. Now let's test this, because one thing we can see is removing the suffix and putting a new suffix in its place. I could have act plus IVE to get active. Notice the base stays the same. I could have actor, act plus OR gives me actor. The base stays the same. If I were to hypothesize that the TION in action is the suffix, I'm left with ac. And I can't say active, and I can't say acker, right? The T is part of the base. So let's look at a more complex word. Let's look at the word construction. If I were to do a word sum for construction, I would have CON plus a base from Latin, which is struct, plus ION. The T is part of the base, struct, which means to build. It has that sense of meaning, to build. So the T is actually part of the base itself. One more that I want us to consider. I'm going to erase that part so I have plenty of room. I want us to look at the word motivate and turn that into motivation. And again, people might say, oh, that's a TION suffix. Let's look at how we build motivate. We have MOT, a base that has the sense of meaning to move, plus IVE, we're going to drop that E, plus ATE, we're going to drop that E, plus ION. And that is going to give us motivation. Now, that Asian part is really the suffix ATE, drop the E, plus ION to give us Asian. Asian and shun, those are not suffixes. So I hope that this helps. We're going to talk about SION and some other factors that impact ION as a suffix soon. Thanks a lot, y'all.